Before we start today's show, we just wanted to take a moment and give a huge thank you to the podcast sponsor, StreamYard. With StreamYard, you can stream directly from your browser, create a broadcast, show comments on screen, and see all of your comments in one place. With StreamYard, you can record HD video and audio. You can even go live with pre-recorded videos. Save, rewatch, and download past broadcasts. You can invite guests to your broadcast from any device. StreamYard makes it easy to run interviews, talk shows, podcasts, and so much more. You can simply get started with your own by heading on over to StreamYard.com. Now, without further ado, brought to you by Mindful Media Productions, you are now tuned into my favorite podcast, The Archives with Adam. Here is your host and my grandson, Adam.
Welcome back to another episode of The Archives with Adam, where I unlock the vaults of my mind and share the treasures within to you guys. Today we have a guest that is it's amazing to just have him on. It's such a huge honor. And if you guys know me, I'm a huge Saw fan, and this gentleman, he's played, I would say, the ultimate villain in one of the best movies of the franchise. Today, I do have Franky G, the unforgettable force behind the ultimate villain in Saw 2. But his role in the Saw series is just the tip of the iceberg. Franky has delivered standout performances in the Italian Job, Wonderland, and the gripping TV series Power. So sit back, just enjoy this episode, and let's just have a good one. Franky, welcome to the Archives with Adam.
Thank you for having me, Adam. What an introduction. I love that.
You know, I gotta always customize them, make them good.
I want to kid with you. Yeah.
Oh no, for sure. You know, and everybody says that every episode. They're like, I don't deserve this intro, or man, what a great intro. So
thank you so much.
Definitely. So I kind of want to start off with some icebreakers. You know, just
sure.
If that's what we want to call it. You know, just kind of ask some questions that I have in the back of my mind, and you know, just kind of get to know you a little bit.
Sure.
All right. So for you, what is a movie that you could watch over and over again without getting tired of it? For me, I would personally say Saw movies, but also Pitch Perfect. I'm not ashamed to say Pitch Perfect series.
Right. So you want the past or you want now? Because I love old movies. Hard Times with Charles Bronson, man. That's about almost like the Fight Club. That was outstanding. I like The Sting. I watch over and over again. I watch there's other ones. Not too much of the horror genre. I watch too much, but a lot of the old movies because I'm into that, and I like the when they shoot, how they shoot it, how they the scenery, and I learned a lot from it. Put it that way. So, and also I love Sicario. I enjoy Sicario, man. I'm looking forward to number 3. But and I know Benicia's great people, and there's some other ones that's not coming into my head that that I really enjoy watching over. Yeah.
There's so many. For me, man, I do gotta agree. Like the older movies are really truly where it's at. I'm gonna speak on a little bit. You don't have to because I know you're in the industry, but Hollywood just isn't the same anymore. You know, when it comes to movies, you know, they just don't make them the same. And I introduced my girlfriend to a lot of the older movies quite often, and she'll be like, "Man, this is great." And I'm like, "Yeah, like you don't see that nowadays." You know?
No, and I agree with you. I was watching when I watched The Sting with Robert Redford and Paul Newman and Robert Shaw, and wow, I say they don't make them like this anymore. You know, but like every 7 years or so, the industry changes. You know what I mean? Everyone comes out with different stuff and different ideas, but it's not like it was back then. You know what I mean? And so,
no, without a doubt.
And when you read some of these scripts, it's like you have to think, do I want to do this? Do I want? I mean, you have to make that decision. You know what I mean? If the script is great, oh yeah, it reminds you a lot. I did a movie called The Pastor, and this was many years ago. And the script, I loved it because it was like a Shakespearean, and I enjoy that because I did Shakespeare with my wife back then, and and that's what intrigues me a lot. That's what intrigues me. So, yeah, but you're right. You're right. They don't make them like they do anymore. When I watch Hard Time and Charles Bronson or Papillon with Dustin Hoffman, and the Magnificent Seven, it's like wow,
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, that really goes with like horror movies and things like that. Like I sat the last weekend and watched Tarot, and I'm like, this movie is terrible. There's so much potential, man, but this movie is terrible. Like it had the kid from Spider-Man, Ned, and I'm like, man, Ned didn't even have a main part. He was just
he was just there. He was just there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite musicians or bands? I could hear you. Loving the old stuff.
I love Kiss. I used to love Kiss, man. I had posters up on them. I like Drake. I like classical music too. I like Josh Groban. I like Andre Bocelli. I love what my wife goes like, man, that shit is boring. My wife tells me that, I say, but I love that, and there's some other rock bands that I like too, that I listen to, but I'm not. It's not coming to me right now, But I listen to a lot of different music and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I love Kiss. I actually got to see them several times. Them and Motley Crue. I mean, it's crazy, man. Good time for music though.
Stain. No, here goes Stain. Stain. I like Stain. They're great too. So, but like I said, I put my podcast on when I put on my podcast, my Pandora, not podcast, Pandora, and I listen to all different music. I have it in shuffle. I'm shuffling. And so I listen to all different. But my wife, she be like, "What are you listening to? Oh my God, change that." So when my wife,
they don't get it.
Car, yeah. So my wife is not in the car, then I listen to it. But when she's in the car, I let her go play your thing.
Yeah, no, that's me, man. I'm dragging my girlfriend, man. We're gonna be together for 5 years come September.
Congratulations, man!
Appreciate it. Yeah, our anniversary date falls on the day Slipknot's coming into town, and I told my girlfriend, I'm like, we gotta go. Like, we have to go. She's that's not my kind of music, But I'm like, just one time. You just got to see their stage show and
support. You're there for support. Exactly. Are you gonna tie the knot or what?
One day.
I hear you. I was with my wife for 6 years before we got married, and now we've been together 23 years.
That's a long time. That's a long time. Congrats to you guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
It's
been great.
What's your go-to comfort food after a long day of work, or just something you go to when you want to just have a really good meal?
Me? To go eat? Man, I go.
Oh yeah, like what's a comfort food that something you just enjoy?
Ooh, I love the Italian food, man. I go to Carmine's. I go to all different restaurants, but I like Spanish food too. I like arroz, pollo, rice, beans, chicken, and all that stuff. But a lot of times I eat pasta, and sometimes I go to Chipotle. I have different flavors. But I don't like spicy food though.
No.
No. I don't know why.
That used to be my go-to.
Yeah, but no.
I used to be a little show off.
Yeah, when I'm in California and I'm shooting, I call my friend. I go. I say, "What is there a Chipotle around here?" So I could pick up this and take it back to the hotel. And yeah. Sometimes I may go to I'm going to say sometimes I go to McDonald's to get my vanilla iced coffee and get my breakfast. I'm not going to lie. I hate to say it, but I do that. McDonald's, yes, come on, man, you work out. I go eat my breakfast there. Get my my eggs and pancakes and my coffee, and I'm good. Yeah.
There you go. Simple man.
Yeah.
One last question before we get it going. What are some like something about you that people don't know about, like per se, that you can share?
Well, every time people meet me, when I go to appearances and everything like that, when they meet me, they're like, I didn't know you were like this. Like, I kid around. I'm a jokester. Mm-hmm. I like to have fun, and when it's time to get serious, you get serious. But when they meet me, they're like, oh, you got to meet him. He's a nice guy. He's not like Xavier from Saw. He's not. Of course not. I'm acting. What do you expect? You think I'm going to rip you? Come on. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. I laugh at that, though. But I'm a real cool cat, and I remember when I worked with Ray Liotta, God rest his soul, and we did a show. We were doing a show together. And then when we were on our break, we kid around. And he goes, has anyone ever saw you like this? I said, no. They should see you like this, man. You should show them that. I said, no, just my personality, man. That's just me. I like to mess around, kid around, jokes. And my wife gets mad when she said, you joke around too much. I said, but that's me. You understand? That's me.
Yeah. Now, in the way you described it, like, so for me, man, Saw 2 came out when I was in high school. Like, I'm 33 now. I've been out of school for 15 years, man. It's crazy.
Wow. Man, it's a long time.
But it is. But I was just like, before I started doing what I'm doing, I didn't realize like for like 100% that it's just an act, it's you acting. But there are sometimes like people that I've ran into, with doing the podcasting thing that have been like just not interested in chatting, but they'll get on screen or like on the camera and they'll talk to you. But like, nah, man, like when I started doing my research and stuff, like I was like, man, Franky G seems like a really cool guy. Like he's definitely not like Xavier and Saw. He seems like he wants to have a good conversation and things like that. So
yeah. And my son's name is Xavier, and I didn't get it from the movie neither. And that's what's so funny.
It's just a coincidence.
Oh, you got it from the movie? Yeah. My wife liked that name many years ago, and when we got a boy, she named him Xavier.
Has he seen the Saw movie?
Yeah, he's seen it. And everybody hits him up with all that stuff. I saw your dad, man. He's like, is he really like that, man? He's like, no. When I showed him a scene when I was cutting the number off my neck when he was much smaller, he was crying. He thought, oh, Daddy, you cut your neck. Why are you doing it? I said, it's fake. What are you doing? So I never let him, and I didn't let him see it for a while. Then now he don't care no.
Gotcha. So I want to kick it off with some some questions kind of about like
sure, go ahead.
Early life, man. So I know you're Puerto Rican and you grew up in
Brooklyn.
New York.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're actually going to New York in November for Thanksgiving. Go check out the parade and
great. All right.
The Seahawks are going to be playing the Jets, so that's going to be fun to go catch that game. And
great.
Man, so can you tell me about what it was like growing up in Williamsburg and how your environment influenced your passion for acting?
Well, in the beginning, I was growing up in Williamsburg was a great experience for me. I'm a family of 7. And we all used to hang out back then, play handball, play stickball, basketball. It was a great experience. But it was a rough neighborhood. It was really rough. A lot of gangs.
Yo, that's the first.
Somebody, I think there's paranormal activity over here. Get out. Get out of here. Get out.
That's the first time I've ever been kicked out of one of my lives. It just said, snap, and then bam, kicked me out. So
yeah. So Williamsburg. But it was great. A lot of gangs, violence. And so we moved out of there when I was 15. I moved over to Queens. But I was always acting in plays and like in school and stuff like that. But I never had the passion really like I do now. Because I used to play football. I played semi-pro for a year. And I loved playing baseball. And I was very athletic. And when I got into the acting bug, my mother got me involved when I was in my teens. But I never really pursued it like I'm doing it now. And when I got into it, when I went back into it, there was an article on the backstage called Cruel World. It was an indie film called Manito. They changed the name from Cruel World to Manito, and I read for it. And make a long story short, I met the director and I got the lead role and went on to Sundance, and that's how everything started.
Okay. So when growing up in New York, besides playing like football and baseball and things like that, what else did you find yourself doing for fun? Like you said, I mean, there was bad times, man. You know, like if people go back into the history books, you know, there was a lot of bad times. But what did you do for fun? Exactly. The good.
Yeah, I used to play. I used to play with my friend Ringo Livio. I used to open up the pumps, you know, and take the jug and spray everybody with water from the pump. You know, like you see in Serpico, they got those kids running, or like in The Godfather, you see the kids in the pump and bringing and sprinkling and everything. That's what we used to do all the time, and it was so much fun. And playing stickball on the street with my friends, hanging out, talking, and being with family, because my family used to live in the building right over where we live, so we were nearby. So we used to hang out, and our school was right around the corner, and so there was a lot of good time as well, you know.
Definitely. I got my first taste of New York life 2 years ago when I went out there. And I mean, we did not much of the touristy stuff, right? Like we went to go check out some of like the boroughs with, you know, because we're huge hip hop heads too. And so we went and checked out the murals. We went to Rucker Park. We went to, you know, all that.
Rucker Park is hot. Rucker Park is good. A lot of good basketball plays.
Yes. A lot of legendary names have been there. I actually could say my first shots, I brought a basketball with me. You know, we aired it up. I took my first shot, NBA regulation, 3-pointer. I made it, first shot. I got to say, it was a huge accomplishment for my trip. How much have times changed?
Yeah.
You know, for New York since growing up.
A lot of things changed. It's Williamsburg now is like Soho in Manhattan. It's just like they're making a lot of condominiums and all over the Williamsburg area. And my sister, there's a church my sister goes to. She's been going there for like 50 years and stuff like that, right at the heart of Williamsburg. And she still goes there, and she tells me how a lot of people are moving out and they're building these lofts in the area. And because I remember at that time, in my time when I was living there, wasn't as it is today. You know, the restaurants, they got all these new restaurants there. And when you go there, I feel like I'm in the city. I'm in Manhattan. It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it makes me question how authentic and how good the food is. I mean, I didn't go anywhere that I didn't enjoy the food, because here in Washington, we don't have much of anything that you could actually, I mean, you probably have to go and really, really find it, but everywhere in New York, there was something different that I'm not seeing.
Yeah, diversity. And that's what's good. You know, even on the street, the carts, there's people lining up on the carts for the food. And sometimes the food is good. I'm not going to lie. The food is good. So
true.
That's New York.
Oh, definitely. And see, when you talk about diversity, I met a lot of different people out there. You know, a lot of, you know, whites, blacks, Asians, Puerto Ricans. Right. What does it mean to you to be Puerto Rican, and how do you represent that every day?
Every day, I'm proud to be. I'm proud to be Puerto Rican. I grew up, you know, the flavor, the food, and representing in the entertainment business our Latino people. Not only the Puerto Rican side, but the Latino side, and all Latinos. You know, when I'm in California and I go to the gym, I see the S's and I talk to them. Yo, ¿qué pasa? You know, what's going on? Hey, Frankie, what are you doing over here? You know, we hit it off, we click it, and but that's, how can I say it? I'm just proud to do what I'm doing and representing the people and representing them right. You understand what I mean?
Exactly.
And doing it right, and that's how I feel sometimes, and I'm proud of that. And being Latino, you know, I'm just trying to make a difference, you know, in a good way. So Yeah,
definitely. And I mean, we've seen more Latino representation. Most recently with Blue Beetle, it was pretty much a
yeah. I heard
all Latino
that was
cast.
great. I heard. Oh yes,
it was really good. We enjoyed it. Seeing I'm part Mexican, my girlfriend's Salvadorian, so
right.
And I mean, you could probably tell the facial hair and the features, just got that.
No.
But no, it's cool to see things like that. Black Panther, phenomenal movie, almost all black cast, and
yes.
It just
yeah.
So
I lost you.
Rolling the MTV commercial.
What happened?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
okay.
I can hear you.
I was saying, perfect. What was your first taste of fame like with your role in an MTV commercial? Do you remember that?
Oh my God! I thought I made it. Dude, I thought I was going to quit my job. I was going to do it, but I had reality, man. It was great. But my first taste when I did Manito. My first taste was when let me kick it back. In 1997, I did a small movie called El Deseo, and that was a short film, and it went on to certain festivals. But the director passed away, God rest his soul, many years ago, and then I was doing off Broadway plays after that. But then my first taste was when I did Manito and went on to Sundance, and it got great reception from the audience, and it was funny because I was getting hit up by so many agents at that time, calling my job, and I'm like, please don't call my job. I mean, you're gonna get me fired, and these were really cool agents, and I didn't know at the time. I didn't know it was all about Hollywood and all this other stuff, but like I know it now. You know what I mean? But it was weird. It was kind of weird, And then when I moved on to Hollywood and I was shooting a movie, and I said, wow, this is where everyone wants to come. It just felt a little weird to me, because I never got that before, in a sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. I never thought I would ever reach. Right. I wasn't expecting something like that. And you have to make right decisions. You have to really know how to really carry yourself, in a sense. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up with the craziness. Period. You understand? Every time I rap, I like to come home, be with my family. That's it. You know what I mean? So it was weird because I remember when I was walking down the street with my wife, and we were at a premiere. We went to see Constantine, and we had a premiere, and we're walking down the street, going to our car, and this fan running, Franky G, and my wife got so scared. My wife she was like, yo, she had Latina women. They're like, what? She was ready to go. I said, no, they just want to, So don't bother me. We just kept going. So that was a little scary too, So.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So.
Okay.
That taste, it's good at some point, and then sometimes you just want to go home and just relax. Don't want to be bothered with all the craziness.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's probably a lot, and that's something I take into consideration when I reach out to all of my guests. Is, I just like to make sure that they understand that I understand behind their name, they actually are a human being, and I try to accommodate schedules and when people are sick and things like that. So, that's what sets me apart from a lot of people.
No, I hear you.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I also like my Saw fans. I'm very good to them. The fans that come up to me and congratulate me on movies that they've seen me on TV, and I say thank you, and we take a picture together. I'm not going to say, it's like when they'll come up to me, my wife will say, "Oh, come on, friend, take the picture. I'll take the picture for you." And I love that about her. When they come up with me with respect, without being, a little crazy and stuff, it's cool. What's so funny? I did an appearance in San Antonio. I was in Texas, and I went into a horror store, and and they had a huge Billy doll, right? And oh wow, this is cool. And I told her, this is great. And he was happy that I was there. He goes, man, I got this custom made, and I'm trying to get rid of it, and it's hard. And I said, oh, she goes, do you mind if you take a picture with it? I said, yeah. So I took a picture with it, and then I left. And I was doing an appearance. I was doing signings in San Antonio for this horror thing. And so I went back to him and I said, you know what? If you get to sell that piece, I'll sign it for you. If you sell that doll, I'll sign it for you. Oh man, you do it? Just because he had that thing up for a while up there.
Yeah.
He put it up on the website. 1 hour later, it was sold. The guy came to the store. All these people came in. I was the guy was. He said, "Oh my god!" He came in with that doll. Yo, the doll was yay big, like big, like I don't know how tall, but it was huge. And I signed it. He loved it, and I just, I put my signature, what he wanted me to say on it, and he took it home, and it was the guy was so happy about it, So that's how I am. That if it doesn't hurt anybody, yeah. So
most definitely. Now I want one of those Billy puppet dolls, man. But my girlfriend's like, nah, like you're not getting one.
Yo,
I'm like, no.
One guy came in with in another event. One guy came in with the Billy puppet, talking, and he came in with the sword. Then he came in with the bat. He came in with everything, and he wanted to do and mimic the scene of cutting my neck and all. We took a picture
That's
like that. Yeah. It was like, oh my god! I said, come on, man. It's crazy. Yeah.
That's wild.
But there are people that really enjoy the movie, the franchise. So I just tried to, because I very rarely do appearances. So that day they came, they didn't know I was there, and they came with the puppet, they came with the hammer. I mean, not the hammer, the bat, the saw itself. I'm like, holy mackerel! It just blew me away.
Ben, I'm such a huge fan. Like my girlfriend, I actually had to drag her to Vegas, because in Vegas, I don't know if you know that they have an escape room that's Saw themed.
Really?
And it's amazing, man. So if you ever get the chance to go out there,
yeah, I'll go in incognito.
Yeah,
I'll go in there incognito.
No, it's amazing. Like they have the furnace where
when I burned the guy, when I broke the glass,
the furnace in there.
Yeah, he was trying to get the needle. Wow, that must be crazy.
It's insane. Like I got in there and they close it, because you have to close it to trigger like this blacklight effect, and you gotta like try to find the right numbers to open up this room or something. Oh, yes. It's insane. It's insane.
Wow.
But
wow.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. I've done it 3 times.
Really? That's great.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
man.
Yeah. It's amazing.
That's so cool. I would love to go and see it. I would love to go if I'm in Vegas. I would love to go check it out.
You should. It's amazing. But man, I wanted to ask you, out of like all your roles, what has been the most challenging and why? Like I know you've played, again in Saw, which we've mentioned many times. You've been in Power. I mean, you've been Cops. What has been your most challenging and why?
I think I take all of them as a challenge. I have to approach it like that. I have no favorite. I would love to do comedy, because I did Tio Papi. It was a comedy. People didn't believe I did that. That was a children's movie. But everything to me is a challenge. I have to go prepared no matter what, and do the best job that I can. I never thought of like, this is my favorite character. This is a role I love to keep playing. But everything is a challenge for me. Everything. That's the way I have to take it. It's like when I play football. I take it as a challenge. Every game is different. You're playing a different team, and that's the way I take my roles. I approach it like that, and just come prepared. I come with an idea. What my perception is of the character. That's my challenge.
So how did you prepare for the role in Saw? How, like, especially one that is psychologically intense. How did you prepare for that?
When I was reached by my agent about the Saw franchise. I didn't see the first Saw. I had to go get the CD and watch it in the beginning. And then I met the director, and we spoke about it. And I saw that, there was a great following. And when I read the script, I liked Xavier. I liked what he was doing, what the character, what was about, and why he was there. But I like when I was going and trying to take the numbers from people and the killings and stuff. I'll tell you one thing, Adam. If it was done today again, I would do it way different, man.
Oh yeah, how would you do that?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I will take it a different level. You know what I mean? But it was when I approached it that day, I took it that I wanted to escape no matter what. I will kill you. I will kill you to get what I want to get out of here. And that's the way I approached it. You know what I mean? And and that's the way I had to look at it. And that's the way I saw the character like that. That's the way I saw him. I'm going to tell you a story about Shawnee Smith. Okay. When I threw in the needle pit, she was 4 months pregnant.
No.
Yeah. And I didn't know that till we went to the premiere. And she said, Franky, if I told you I was 4 months pregnant, you wouldn't have done what you did. And I said, you're right. I would have done it harder. No, I'm just kidding.
What was your reaction like? What were you thinking when she said that?
I was shocked. I said, oh my God. I mean, are you all right? No, everything was fine. But I would have taken it differently. She's 4 months pregnant. You have to be careful. Yep. So what she did it for my benefit. And I must have thrown in that pit several times. Yep. But that was, excuse me. It's the vitamin C. The vitamin C. All right.
Oh man.
So, but but I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun on that set, and we shot it in Canada, in a warehouse. So I had a great time doing that movie. People say, man, you should come back. You should come back. If I want to come back, I would like to come back as his twin, as his brother, his twin brother, coming back for revenge. What? I have some ideas, man. But it's up to
I'm thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it right now, man.
It will be crazy to people to see me out of surprise comeback. You know what I mean? Like they hear the bat in the background breaking the door, and like he's wondering, what's that? What's that? And you see the nails going through the door, and next thing people say, "Oh my God, is that Xavier? Is that him? He's back!" And, no, it could be his brother. It could be whatever. I mean, that's just an idea. You know what I mean? But that'd be cool.
No, it would be, because I mean, at the end of 2, we don't know what happened to Detective Matthews' son. You know what I mean? He could have recruited you.
Yeah.
Did
you hear about your brother? He was killed, and that we found him, and next thing you know, that's an idea. That's an idea. People I said, well, you got to talk to the producers. You got to let them. You got to spread the word out there, because that'll be bananas. That'll be. Bananas.
I'm tagging them. I'm gonna make this little snippet,
because I'll be a different. Like this Xavier too. This guy, his brother will be. I think he'll be more sinister than his brother. That's the way I feel. That's the way I look at it. But anyway, that's just It's an
idea. It's
an idea.
Before we jump into some more Saw, I do want to talk about real quick. You've done some plays, man. You've talked about the plays.
Yeah,
I would never imagine you doing plays, but I mean, you've been a part of some various theater groups.
Off Broadway plays. Yeah, I did. There's a Tiger Wear a Necktie. I did Orphans. I did some Macbeth with my wife. I really enjoy the theater. The theater is where it's at. That's where the bread and butter is. Movies is great. You cut, but on theater, there's no cutting. You got to keep going. You know how many times my wife has caught me too. How many times I had to repeat the line, I repeated the line, people not knowing that I repeated the line because I just went blank, and then I repeated to get me back on track. But that's theater. That's the magic of theater. So, yeah.
Is it a lot more challenging, being that you don't get any more, like you don't get breaks?
It is challenging. I mean, doing theater, doing it is challenging, because you have to be ready. You have to be prepared. You have to know what you're doing. You have to, just in case something mess up, the other actor has to save you in a sense. Like I said, if you forget something, the other actor comes and saves you in a sense. He'll throw in his line, and he'll save you, and then you get back on track with your line. But yeah, after you're done doing the plays, you feel good about it. It's like working out for 2 hours and you're exhausted because you used a lot of your energy on the character, on what you're doing, on what you're playing. Yeah.
Okay. You even produced a play called The Insiders. Can you give me a little bit of a background?
It was my wife wrote that, and it's like a psychological play, abuse, and I played this psychological person. It's like I hardly had any lines. Everyone, all the characters that came up on stage, there must have been like 13 characters, was my personality, was my mental capacity, what I see in myself. I had different psychological, it's like I was in a box, and all the characters were my characters inside my head. Put it that way. I forgot what you call that.
Split personalities?
Yes, that's what it is. I had the split personality. I was a baseball player. I was a comedian. And I stayed in the one box, and I mimicked every single person of that character without saying a word.
Wow.
And my wife played the woman that I loved in the past, and it was very, very powerful. We were sold out for a while, and we did about 10 performances, but it was great to do because it was a great exercise. So it took a long time. When my wife wrote it, she had to change it a lot, but it got some good reactions, good reviews, and it was fun. I had a lot. It was a great time. And it was also challenging. While these guys go up and they're saying their monologue, I had to act like what they're saying. You understand? It's like shadowing them. I was shadowing them, getting emotion, getting mad, getting crazy. It was like being in a mental institution, and all your personalities are inside you, and you're acting. And it was like being in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You know what I mean? It's doing the Jack Nicholson and doing crazy stuff, and also getting emotion, bringing down the tears and all this other stuff. It was something. It was something. Yeah. So.
Is there anywhere I could go and watch that? Like, is it on YouTube? Is it on?
No, I don't think it's on YouTube anymore. I don't think it was years ago, many years ago. I don't think if it's still. I got to talk to my wife about that because I haven't seen it. And so it was like, oh wow, my son was like 2, and now he's 16. It's like 14 years ago. Yeah,
man, that's crazy. It sounds like a good one to watch. And
people. I mean, it's like I never got off the stage. I was right there, just in the box, and all the personalities come. The light was shining over here, and then one character's here. Then the light was shining on the other side. Another character was there. It was powerful, a powerful message. So it was the abuse that I went through, the abuse I went through when I was a kid. Yeah.
Okay. I would definitely look for it.
If you said, I'll probably hit you up. I'll talk to my wife about it to see if she has any clippings or anything. If it's still on YouTube, maybe, or we have video or something like that. And maybe I could send it out to you or whatever. We'll talk because we have to look for it. It's been that's been a long while. Yeah.
Okay. So I definitely want to jump into some solid questions. I know we have a little bit of time left. Mm-hmm. So I was wondering, have you seen any of the other Saw movies?
No.
Or have you only
No.
Have you watched
No.
yours?
I watched mine. I watched one. You know what's so funny? When the movie first came out, I went with 10 of my friends to go see it in the theater. But I had my hood over my head. You know, at first I walk in and then you sit down, but you put and then when people, it was sold out, and the reactions were great. And then when I left, my friend said, "You're gonna stay? You're gonna put your hood down?" I said, "No, I want to walk out. I was like kind of a little nervous, you know. I would have loved to be with the fans. Hey, how you doing? Took off my hood, and but I just wanted to see the reaction of the audience. But I left before anyone came out, and that was fun. I really enjoyed that.
Okay. Is there like a reason why you never watched the Saw movies? Is it because you just, like you said earlier, you don't like horror movies, or like you're just not a horror movie?
I do some horror movies. I watch Carrie and stuff like that. But the real deep horror movie, no, that's
okay.
I can't.
That's too much.
I watch, Chainsaw Massacre and all that stuff. No.
Okay.
I just doesn't intrigue me. But I like a lot of psychological thrillers, like Silence of the Lambs, Carrie, like I said. But I never really. I don't know. I just never really watched all the other Saw movies. I watched the trailers. I may watch a scene or two, but I never really sat down to really watch any of them.
Gotcha.
So. Yeah.
No, I respect that. I mean, you've been in the movie.
Sorry, guys. I mean, I love my fans. I love the Saw fans, man. I'm there for them, but I just never saw them. I love when they give me the feedbacks on them, though. What they thought.
What's some of the feedback you heard?
Saw 2 was like really one of the best. 3 also, and stuff. That's what they tell me. I said, "Oh, thank you. That's all I can say." And maybe the others were great too, but I haven't seen it. I heard number 10 was really good.
It was amazing. It was amazing. But that's just not me being biased. I mean, it's a whole different
you're right.
perspective,
Yes. If it's a whole different perspective, I could see your point. Of course.
A whole different style of movie, I mean, it wasn't as gory as the other ones, but it was a story. It was a story that led into what, so.
Yes, and I agree. I agree with you 100%. Yes.
Definitely. So when it came to Saw 2, I mean, you were in Saw 3 as well. Did you actually have to go in and do recording, or did they just
put that lay me down? They just told me, "Can you just come in just for that day? Just lay down and just that scene." I said, "I'll do." I tell Bosman, the director, say, "I'll do it for you." Yeah, okay. If the cheddar is right, No, but I just wanted that day, and that was it.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I did that. That was just a favor, Yeah.
Did it take long, or was it just like?
Nah, it was in there. It was quick, in and out. That's it.
That's insane.
Rather than using the dummy, because they do close-ups or whatever, they rather have me there. I said, "You should have done that when I was here already," from the previous. But I'm a team player, you know what I mean? Being a team player.
For sure.
Yeah.
You have to, man. You play semi-pro ball, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do people recognize you in your everyday life when you're out? I mean, I know sometimes it sounds like you're more of like a homebody kind of guy.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes, but they're afraid to approach me. Say, "Is that?" One time I was at the gym. The little kids are calling me, Xavier, from the movies. When they watch Saw, the little kids. Yeah, and then they
parents let you watch that.
The what?
So your parents let you watch that to those little kids?
Yeah. But they also saw me in some other stuff, and like Wonderland and the other films that I've done, and the TV shows, and and they were, when I was at the HorrorCon, I had these people come by and they go, "Oh my God, that's this guy from Power, that's Franky from Power," and they all run in and we're taking pictures. Yeah, oh my God, they didn't know I was at the HorrorCon, so
that's crazy.
Yeah. So they know me from. I like that when they know me from other stuff that I've done. So
that's what I like about the conventions and stuff, and doing the podcasting, is that you learn about other roles that your guests have been in, and you can go back and watch some of those later movies and TV shows, and it's like, man, how come I never seen this?
Right.
you know. So I mean, I think that's pretty cool because then I mean they probably had like a banner for you up, and then they had like you know, all the roles that you've been in.
Yes, just some of them. Yeah,
definitely. So when it came to Xavier, man, I gotta say, like, his character was a lot different than any of the other characters. Really, he was, like I said, I like to call him the villain because he was going through. He was a smart guy. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew what his main goal was. You know, and you don't see that in another character throughout any of the other movies. Yeah. It's just straight to the point.
Put it this way, he got gangster. You know what I mean? He was from the hood. He was like a drug dealer from the hood, and he did anything to get out. He'll do anything to get out. And whatever he had to do, he had to do. Take no prisoners, you could say. You know?
For sure.
And that's what he did. He didn't care about nobody else but himself.
What was your reaction when you read that script when it was presented to you? Were you like, I can do this? Like, I got this?
When I saw it, I thought it was that it was going to be fun. That I couldn't wait to do the character. That was going to be. I wanted to bring some stuff to the character. We used to talk about that, the director and I. What would you do in this scene? What would you do in that scene? And when I read the script, I said, wow, this is going to be fun. I can't wait to do it. So I was excited. I was excited what to bring to the character. When I saw that, when I read the script, I said, people are going to like this, man. It's going to be, you know, I was going to say, well, kick ass. I'm sorry, but that's what it's going to be.
Oh, it's cool, man. My show is your platform, so it's cool, man. I'm cool with it. What was it like working with Shawnee Smith? She seems like such a cool person.
She's great. Great people. All of them, everyone. It was like family. Put it that way. It was like going to set. Put it this way, it's like you felt great going to work. Put it that way. It was fun going to work and working with these people. And that's what we did. You know?
What about we had fun. What about Tobin Bell?
I didn't get to work with him. That's one thing I didn't get to work with. But I would love to have worked with him. Maybe maybe the next one when his twin brother comes back. No.
Hey, Lionsgate. Let's make it happen.
I love Lionsgate. I did three movies with Lionsgate. They're great. They're great production.
I do love a good Lionsgate movie.
Yes.
Again, outside of Saw, they have tons and tons of movies under their belt. So, so were there any like challenges or any memories that you could share while being on the set?
Okay, on what? In any movie or this one or the Saw movie?
Any movie, and let's say Saw as well. I'm cool with that.
All right, I got one for you. Remember? Okay, when I was cutting the neck, when I was cutting the number off my neck. When they were putting the prosthetic, it was like 3 hours to put that on. So what I had to do, the initial scene was me take the number off and throw it. Okay? And then the FX guy comes back to me and goes, Frankie, we only got one more. So you can't, you got to do something else. We try not to lose this one. Right? So when I did the cutting, I put up the piece. And in my head said, should I throw it or should I put it in my pocket? All I did was put it in my pocket. And that's what got into the cutting room floor. The director went ballistic. They all went crazy. Oh my God, he put the number in his pocket. Who never thought of that? But my mind was saying, I remember what the guy told me, don't lose the number, the prosthetic that I cut. Don't lose that because they had nothing else. So that when I put it in my pocket, they hit the fan, and they kept that in the movie. that was the crazy one.
Now that I think about it, I'm like,
you know,
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, who would have thought of putting it in my pocket? I just put it in my pocket. I had it like this. Because he told me not to lose that one. Don't throw that one out. Don't lose that because that's all we had, and that was it. I put it in my pocket. And
now that I think about it, it's like, how would that even look on camera throwing it? How would that make any sense? You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, but just
Like,
because the director just take it off. When you take it, just fling it. Just throw it. You know the number. You saw it. Now get rid of it. But no, I just put it in my pocket.
that's crazy.
So yeah. And it looked like
So
when they put that on my neck, the blood used to come. It was like 3 hours to put that on. The blood used to come. Oh man, it was crazy. It was bananas. They were shooting a movie next door with Antonio Banderas. I had a call, and my wife called me. I went to take the call. All the kids saw the blood. They were screaming, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" I said, "No, it's just a movie. I just got blood. Fake. It's fake." And my thing was slit. You see the opening. It was crazy. It was bananas.
oh man, that'd be something crazy to see.
Yes.
Oh man. Nah, man, it's that's crazy. Did you ever get spooked out on the set, or did it just feel like a set? Like for me, like I said, I went to the escape room, and
right.
I mean, you actually have Tobin Bell talking in his Jigsaw voice and telling you like
right.
you have a gas that's coming in through, and it's getting into your bloodstream, and you got to get out. But it's like, that felt crazy, right? It felt so real, but like you're not being harmed. But how did that set feel like to you?
About when that set. I mean, it was great working on this set. I mean, I didn't have any eerie feelings and nothing. It was just amazing how excuse me. It was amazing how they put everything together, how everything was built in one set. It's in a warehouse. The furnace, the what you call it, where what was that? The basement where they had the shower room. And the other places where all the needles were, me chasing around trying to find the needle. I mean, it was crazy. It was being in a maze, like being in a maze. So, yeah, that's
wild.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm trying to envision that, like right now, like how you're walking down a staircase into a basement, or upstairs and stuff like that. It's just like, how do you put that in a warehouse and make it good quality without someone getting hurt?
I know.
It
was amazing. I'd be like, wow, how'd you do this? And it was bananas. It was a huge warehouse, though. Everything was taking place right there.
Gotcha. Man, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we're getting close to time, but I wanted to ask you, is there anything that you're working on right now that's coming up that you want to talk about? Do you have any foundations that you're a part of?
Well, right now, July 4th, we're premiering The Family Business season 5. It's on BET. Okay. Then it's gonna go to Netflix after they show 10 episodes. And then I just finished a movie with Eric Roberts and Frankie Faison called Beyond the Rush. It's a dramatic thriller. It's basically a journalist tries to confront a priest about his past. And and I saw some of the clips. It looks crazy. I think it's going to be a really good movie. And I was so proud to be part of it. And right now I'm just reading scripts and just being home with the family and helping my son out with his play. He does, he goes to Frank Sinatra, and he also, he does plays and stuff like that. And my daughter and just. That's it, just reading scripts and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to catching those shows and that new movie. I'm definitely going to be watching.
Oh yeah, that's going to be hot.
Enjoy a good movie.
Great cast. Fred Savage also is in it. Eric Roberts was great to work with. Okay. It's going to be something. It's going to be something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that. One question I do like to ask my guests before we close out the show is, do you have any piece of advice for anybody trying to chase their dreams or that really has something that they want to achieve, like any goals?
Well, work hard. Believe in yourself. Don't believe in the naysayers. If your heart is in it, keep going. Whether it's acting, football, whatever you want to do, you got to put your mind to it. Believe in yourself that you can do it. There's no such thing. I hope. I don't believe in hope. Saying I hope this. I hope no. You can do. I know I need this. I want this. That'll take you a long way. You know what I mean? I used to say, oh, I hope I get this up. No, you're going to get it. Put it in your heart. Put it out there. Believe in yourself. And I had a lot of people in the naysayers when I was an actor, up and coming actor. And the minute Manito hit, and I did Wonderland, I did the Italian Job, I did Confident. People like hit, oh my God, you know. Then you hear I knew you could. Oh yeah, okay. Tricks are for kids, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
where were you at?
Yeah. But I don't hate on them because it's like they grew up not believing that they can do this, and you can do it. Just got to believe in yourself. Keep reaching that dream. You can't. It's there. You just got to believe in yourself. That's all it is. Just put your mind to it. You know. Remember, no, you can't. Can't is the worst thing to say. I can't do this. I can't. No, you can. You can. I know. I know I can do this. I can do this. That's what it is. So
one thing my grandma always told me is I can't means I won't. And I mean, it really
right.
feels like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect, man. Well,
yep.
I do appreciate you giving me your time on a Saturday. It's been great talking to you, hearing these stories.
No problem. Thank you, Adam.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I'm going to be checking all the
really appreciate.
Oh, my pleasure, man. So yeah, no, feel free to stay in touch if you would like. I can't wait to watch the new stuff you're going to be a part of.
No, thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to take a moment and thank the podcast sponsor, StreamYard. Without StreamYard, none of this would be possible. I also want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching this episode, whether you're streaming it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or watching on YouTube. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for many more episodes.